my loves. I hope you guys are doing well. Welcome into this video for day 6 of the 30 days of Ho'oponopono challenge. This is the practice video for the subject of government. So before we get into the practice, I do want to just offer up a few things here. So as we're going through the practice and as you're checking in with your relationship to the government, how you feel about the government, and you're offering up these phrases of Ho'oponopono, I invite you before we go into the practice to really think about what the reflection is for you. So right now, start with, how do I feel about my government? Come up with a few questions. Like, I feel like the government is helpful, supportive, on my side, or restrictive, invasive, evil, whatever the words are for you. And then once you have like 3 to 5 words, so I'll give you a few seconds to think of them. Okay, if you don't have them now, pause the video. So once you have those words, now I'm going to ask you, can you see in your life how you may be embodying these energies? So if your word was restrictive, I'm going to invite you to think about where in your life you are restricting yourself, others, internally, externally. If your word was uplifting, then, where are you being uplifting? And give yourself credit for that. So whatever your words are, I do invite you to, before we go into the practice deeper, to really get in touch with where these vibrations might be showing up in you and how you're acting in the outer world or how your inner world is working. Because that's really the power and the transformative energy of Ho'oponopono, and we are in the season of Scorpio. It is about transformation, this beautiful energy that we are in right now. So what's the reflection? Look at that and keep that in mind as we're offering the Ho'oponopono, because especially if you have a really negative charge with the government, especially if the government has not supported you, has really hurt you or harmed you or been really invasive in your life, I can understand how that would be very difficult to reflect that back to you and to allow yourself to offer up this practice to that subject. But it helps to keep in mind what the reflection is for ourselves so that we can not let the government off the hook for what it does, but let ourselves off the hook for the charge that we have toward the government. Because everything outside of us, government, other people, whatever the relationships we have, whatever the situations are, the Ho'oponopono practice philosophy is about accepting and recognizing that it is a reflection of what's going on within us. So as we reflect on what's going on within us, we recognize that it's not that thing that we're trying to blame. That thing is just showing up to show us what's going on within us. And as we take responsibility for what's going on here, then we can offer up these phrases more freely, more honestly, more earnestly to the thing outside of us that we've been blaming, that we've been pointing the finger at, that we've really been saying is the problem, when there's still kind of work to do in here, in reflection of whatever you're seeing as the problem that the government poses for you. So I usually talk about this kind of stuff in the chat videos, but before we went into the practice, I really kind of wanted just to give a container for you and to allow you to see the reflection so that you can get to a point when you're in the practice to feel the I'm sorry, to feel the please forgive me, to feel the thank you, to feel the I love you towards the government, right? And as we go through this, I just invite you to feel the words as much as you can as you say them over and over again, and allow yourself to surprise yourself with what might be underneath there, and what might want to come through for you emotionally on this subject. So we are going to get started now. I do invite you to be in a place where you're not going to be disturbed, so you can let the people in your space know that you need some space, some time, and go ahead and set that sacred container, that special time to just go into this practice. And when you're ready, close your eyes. We're going to start here with deep breathing. So just breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Going at your own pace. Breathe deeper than you've deeper breaths than you've taken today. Keep doing this for a few more moments. You can make a noise if you want to. The noise helps to exaggerate it, but also helps to make sure that you're really taking that deep breath. You can return to normal breathing at the end of your next exhale. And we're going to put our focus on what's called our mind's eye. It's the black screen behind our forehead, which is located above our eye, or above our nose. And we're gonna imagine that we could stare at that space with our physical eyes, even though they're closed. And look at this blank black movie screen, or you might see it as white or a different color, that's fine. This is our imagination center. Now, I always give the caveat that some people have different imagination senses more developed than others. So when we're talking about visualizing something, you might not have a visual perception of it at first. You might be unpracticed in visualization. That's fine. You might feel something in your body and feel the presence of what we're talking about. You might smell the thing that we're talking about. You might hear it. You might just intend with your focus that this experience you're calling in is there, even though you have no imagination of it. It's nothing beyond your own intent. That's fine too. So be gentle and loving with yourself as you do this. Don't beat yourself up for whatever you think you should be experiencing. Just allow whatever you are experiencing to be part of the practice. This is called a practice because you don't have to be perfect at it. It is a practice. You get better and better and better at it with time. Also, the mind will wander. Be gentle and loving with yourself. This again will also get better and better and better with time. When it goes off and starts thinking about whatever it else wants to think about, just gently, lovingly guide it back to the sound of my voice, or guide it back to whatever it is that we were working on before you got distracted. Knowing that it's natural, knowing you've done nothing wrong, knowing that it's just part of the process. I'm gonna take a deep breath, so if you want to too, you can. Staring at our mind's eye, we're going to call in the government. So whatever you see for the image of your government, you might see a bunch of things, you might see a whole arena full of people, you might see symbols of the government for you. Whatever you see is perfect and right for you. It could start to change, you could just intend. Don't get too caught up in the details of it, but we're calling forth the energy of the government. We're feeling this presence of this entity in front of us, and we are aware of how we feel towards this thing. And as we're aware of how we feel towards it, I invite you to be in the observer stance as much as possible, rather than in the experiencer stance. So observe it as though it's not happening to you, even though of course that's how you're experiencing it. See it from the outside as much as possible, just being aware from the mind's eye, from the observer perspective of how you feel towards the government. Be aware of the charge, see how tight, tense, or loose and light it is. We're going to start with I love you. Start with different things sometimes. Some people start with I'm sorry. We've been changing it up in these practices. We're starting with I love you with the government today. So what you're going to do is you're just going to repeat aloud or in your head, I love you. Feel yourself as though you're actually offering this love to the government. Perhaps you even see yourself writing a love letter to the government. Feel your love, all the love that you have for the government. So any time that the government did come through for you, that it did support you, or your loved ones, or somebody you know, or some element of love for your government. As much as you can offer up, honestly. If you can't feel any love, repeat the phrase even without the feeling, okay? So we're just going to say, I love you. I'm going to say this too. I'm going to be offering it up to my own experience of the government. I might be loud, I might not be loud, but I will come in loudly when we are ready to move on to the next phrase. So go ahead at your own pace, telling your government that you love it, feeling that love, feeling that appreciation as much as you can offer up at this time, knowing that however much it is, it's perfect and right. Stay with any of the phrases longer than I am inclined to stay with them, you can always just lightly open your eyes to pause the video, close them and sink right back in, and offer your love, feeling the government in front of you, offering it as long as you want, and gently opening your eyes and pressing play. When you're ready to move forward to the next phrase, which is going to be I'm sorry. I am sorry. I am sorry. Sorry, you might not feel like you have anything to apologize for, but again, this is the reflection part that I brought in. So you can apologize for the amount of hate or anger or resistance you have towards the government as you recognize the reflection that it is bringing into your life and the awarenesses that it is bringing, and perhaps for the things that you have been able to love and be grateful for in that I love you phrase, saying I'm sorry that hasn't been loving, when there is a little bit of love and a little bit of appreciation. So just a couple different I'm sorry ways to feel authentic with that word, with that phrase. I'm sorry, 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 I'm sorry. Phrase and please forgive me. Please forgive me. Please forgive me. Last phrase of thank you. Be grateful for our government. dredge up some gratitude that we didn't know was there. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We will offer up all 4 phrases. You can say them in any order that you want to. You can repeat any phrase that you need to. Again, the phrases are, I love you, I am sorry, please forgive me, and thank you. Going at your own pace, offering up whatever order and whatever repetition you feel is right, whatever clearing, whatever word was hardest for you to say, or whatever one you didn't quite feel you took enough time with or want to go revisit. Go ahead and do that now. Take a deep breath in through the nose and exhale out through the mouth as we release this practice. Still feeling the government in front of us. We're going to allow the government to dissolve in a peaceful way. So it might turn into little sparkles of dust, whatever it is that you had pulled up to represent the government. You might see it disappearing through a door, or turning into a cloud and floating away, or being carried off in the arms of God or the angels, or whatever it is that you think of as a higher power, whatever it is that helps the government to disappear from your view in a gentle, peaceful way. And keeping your eyes closed, I invite you to just start slowly moving your body, bring movement back into your hands, back into your feet, your neck, your shoulders. And when you are ready, open your eyes. Feel free to share anything that came up for you if you feel so called to do so. And as always, Namaste. The universal light within me salutes and honors the universal light within you. Namaste.